Hi, today I'm going to compare these Dyson originals to their corresponding dupes and the airwrap to its refurbished version. I'm going to be going in chronological order, starting with the Dyson Supersonic Nural hairdryer, the airstrait, and the airwrap. Let's talk pricing. So the dupes can range from 40 to 200 euros each, and the refurbished ones range from 350 to 480 euros. This Dyson Supersonic Nural hairdryer is priced at 500 euros. That means the price difference between this and the dupe is of between 150 and 1150% increase. Next is the airstrait. It goes for between 400 and 500 euros per unit. The price difference between this and its dupe is somewhere between 100 and 1150%. Last we have the airwrap, priced at between 500 and 600 euros. Between this and the refurbished one, the price difference is between 4 to 71%. The price total for the dupe and refurbished set is between 430 and 880 euros. The price total for the original set can go between 1400 and 1600 euros. The grand total price difference between this set and the other set is between 59 and 272%. Now that we clarified the financial differences, I'm going to show you the technical ones. I'm going to demonstrate what each tool does and prove if this price difference would be worth it for you. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the hairdryers. Right off the bat we can see that there's a hole in the original one and the dupe one does not have a hole. Only the original one has an idle sensor, which is fun to play with, I guess. The buttons are almost identical, except the dupe one has 2 stages of speed, and this you can just choose one from here to open it. The button here is used to change the temperature. And the neural one is just open from here, and then here you can select the speed and the heat. This is the comparable hardware. This is called a styling concentrator for blowouts, but the attachments are different, so it can't go from one to the other. Get the original one with the dupe attachment and it doesn't go. It does stick a bit, but I wouldn't trust this much. The diffusers have different attachment models as well. They don't look very different except for the ridges the original ones has here, and that it's detachable from this thing. And I'm not certain what this is used for. It looks like a bowl. And this one is just a simple diffuser. Nothing wrong with that. Probably it works fine. The extra attachments from the package in the original one came with this ring thing. Now this one, the flyaway attachment, I am very intrigued by the fantasy of not having flyaways, of course. As a person with a bit wavy hair, when it's wet outside, it's really hard to maintain a straight hair, especially on the top of your head. And this wide comb brush thingy. The straighteners don't have accessories for them, but they look extremely similar in many aspects. It doesn't have the logo here, and I think it's a bit smaller than the original one. Only the original straightener has an idle sensor, but it works kind of late, after 2 seconds-ish. Here's the button difference. They look almost identical except for the color. The original is very shiny with some glue marks on it. I tried to take them off, but it's almost impossible. The dupe, however, has a lot of scratches and glue marks everywhere, and it's kind of buffed out to not look as shiny. The straightener plaque itself looks extremely similar. This was limited edition. It was released in the 2022 gifting season and it was since discontinued, but it is still sold as refurbished for a lower price. I think that's great for the environment, and when you get a refurbished unit from the manufacturer, you get a normal warranty for it.
The airwrap doesn't have an idle sensor at all on any versions of the tool.
They are both the same size. They kind of go together with the blue and the pink. The buttons are the same. This one is the refurbished one and this one is the original one. It's pretty clean. Now let's compare the accessories from the original one with the pink color, and these are some dupe accessories we're gonna mix with the refurbished one. The barrels look very similar one to the other. Okay, let's compare the Quanda attachments. The idea is that you would create a blowout effect using it. For me, the attachments look identical. The graphic is a bit different. This is the dupe, and this is the original. Yeah, the plastic has some defects, but they both do have plastic defects. Then we have these dryer brush attachments. They both look very similar. The dupe has this one, which has the little bubbles on the top. This is very comfortable for the scalp and for your skin. If you drag it along, you won't get scratched by these plastic edges here. In my opinion, they look the same. They look the same. This one even has the logo on it, even though it's fake. This is a cylindrical brush that the original Dyson has, but the fake one does not. Before I start testing them on myself, I have to take into consideration the curly girl regimen that I use. This means avoiding heat damage as much as I can. I wanted to find out at what temperature does hair start to crack and break, so I went ahead and looked for studies that are not produced or sponsored by major hair care corporations. These are the ones that I found. As you can see, there is no definitive consensus about the exact temperature at which hair starts to deteriorate, but between 47 and 60 degrees Celsius is a good approximation. Then I started to measure the heat output of each of these 6 tools with a cooking thermometer and recorded the results.
Remember, kids, the only difference between screwing around and science is writing it down.
Let's start with the Dupe hairdryer. Now let's measure it at the 15 centimeter distance too, which can be considered average use towards the scalp. I'm only doing this distance ping for the hair dryers. Okay, so let's look at the results on this graph I made. So right off the bat we can see if you hold the hairdryer right next to your hair, it's gonna burn more. Now let's look at it this way. I applied here a red band where we previously established is the hair burning zone according to those 3 studies. So we can visually see how important it is to keep a bit of distance towards our head with the hair dryers. I'm definitely gonna use this one with the first setting of 45 degrees, and yes, it is pretty weird that the setting name has a temperature on it, but what I read from it is extremely different. Another interesting thing I observe here is that at the 0 centimeter data points, we can notice that the graph is going upwards in an exponential way because it has the heat accumulation effect showing. This means if it's going further and further up, it could lead to short circuits.
Now I'm measuring the original hairdryer, the name of which I find awkward to pronounce. Let's not forget about the 15 centimeter distance variable. These results are quite different. The 0 centimeter heat accumulation is not happening that much here, but I have an issue with this label Scalp Protect mode. I noticed how it may burn my hair, but if it does that to my hair, then what does it do to my scalp? So after further investigation, I found that the skin started to feel pain at about 43 degrees Celsius. That's just bad user friendliness, huh? With a broken heart and the day ruined, let's move along to test the Dupe straightener now. Once again, the temperatures mentioned on the labels don't mean anything. Is nothing sacred to these product engineers. And why does the boost setting give out the lowest temperature? I'm glad I can see the realistic temperatures on these things before I use them, because now I know how much heat protectant to use. Okay, now let's go with the original, the Dyson airstrait. The results shockingly accurate for today's series of experiments, but nevertheless it will burn my keratin to smithereens.
To shreds, you say?
Now for the airwrap, I decided to compare them both in the same graph to see if it loses any power after going through a refurbish. I'm showing the refurbished version here in dark gray bars. I would say it's showing us a plus minus 3 degrees variation that may be normal from one product to another anyway. I'm very happy to see that there is a non-burn setting on this tool.
I'm so glad I did those measurements on the tools before using them, because I could have accidentally burnt my hair. I'm working with fine, wavy hair. This is my natural curl pattern. I've been using the curly girl method adapted for wavy hair for the past 6 years now. And that means I'm very paranoid about using heat tools. So it was pretty bad to find out in this experiment that a lot of the tools I was using were actually way hotter than I was expecting, because the labels on the product were not accurate. It's 60 centimeters or 23 inches. The Bible says if you ain't rocking 22 inches or better, you are practically bald. Amen.
Wait, no way, 22 inches, yes!
I'm gonna go wash my hair now to test the product on it, and I'm gonna douse it in heat protectant for all of the parts I can't avoid heat on the straighteners, for example. I'm using this basic drugstore heat protectant. You know it's good because it has this Dyson on the label.
Alright.
I'm done with the conversation now.
Sit back down.
I'm sat.
Here I'm just prepping my hair for the long journey ahead. I'm going to use all the originals on the left side of the screen and all the alternatives on the right side. I'm using the hair dryers at the lowest settings, which are 45 degrees on the Dupe and step 1 on the original at a 15 centimeter distance. That will give me 42-43 degrees on my hair, which is safe. I think this one dried it faster, maybe because of the speed. Keeping the hairdryer so close to the head heats up my hair to 83 degrees, which burns it, so in the long run, it will actually create even more flyaways. Oh, it did burn, and there's not much difference. The effect of the flyaway attachment is very subtle, in my opinion. Now for my least favorite part. I can only do the ends, don't worry. As for the straighteners, I will use the smallest setting on each, which are 120 degrees on the Dupe and 80 degrees on the airstrait. They both give out 81 to 82 degrees, which will burn my ends a little, but don't worry, I have a great care routine to deal with it afterwards. Next. Starting with these, leaving these for last. To me, both the original and the refurbished one look extremely similar. I think the brush attachments on the airwrap are pretty good. I would use them again on the blue setting. I'll use the blue setting on the airwraps, and even though they don't curl my hair, I'm happy it doesn't get burned. In my opinion, these are equal. In conclusion, financially, if I would have gotten all dupes instead of the refurbished one, I would have gotten them probably for 40 euros each and spent 120 euros per total. That is like 11 to 13 times cheaper than the ranges for the original set. What I liked the fantasy of the flyaway attachment. I've always dreamed of not having flyaways, but I don't think we're there yet, technologically. What I didn't like, the high temperatures. They remind me of the heat guns we have at hardware stores, which give about 150 degrees Celsius average. And I think that's too much. That should be considered too much. Thank you for watching and take care of your hair. Peace and love.